Hi, this is an episode of the World Forum 2021 Unstoppable Series, and we're with Hagar Kostianovsky from Netafim, the giant drip irrigation company. Hi, Hagar.
Hi, Momo. I'm very happy to be here.
Likewise. And what we want to discuss, the mini-series discusses collaboration. It discusses how corporates, NGOs, governments, local municipalities, and others collaborate in a way that sort of intends to solve all the major challenge that we face now: climate change, social injustice and inequality, etc., etc. And I think what we want to explore today is whether a collaborative effort can take us forward. Hopefully, it can take us forward and not backwards, right?
It can.
Okay,
yeah,
so
for
sure, good. So we're starting in a hopeful tone. So let's start with Netafim. I'm not sure that everybody knows the name, although again, it's huge.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so first, I'm happy to be here. I'm sorry I couldn't be in the conference in person, but I'm happy that we have this kind of alternative to share our knowledge and to learn from each other.
And we saved a little bit of carbon, right?
Exactly.
Good, so we did something good for the climate.
We can start.
Yeah.
So a little bit about Netafim. So the story of Netafim is a story of a sustainable and responsible economy. Netafim began as part of the agriculture community in the desert soil of Israel in the 1950s, trying to grow crop in the desert soil. Every day was a struggle, but those struggles taught us how to think differently. We tried to find a way to grow more with less. And this is how we innovate the precision irrigation, a way to deliver water and fertilizer directly to each root. I think that this idea is something that they change our life. And now, these days, we are helping millions of farmers to grow more with less, no matter what their crop, their soil, the climate challenge, what they're working with.
Fantastic. And it's a very sustainable business case to begin with. So that's what's so beautiful about Netafim. The first example of collaboration that we want to discuss is something called the climate forest, which are urban forests, right?
Exactly. So, Momo, 2008 was a turning point in the history of humanity. Starting from this point, more people live in the cities than in the country areas. And every day, literally, the number is becoming bigger. Growing and growing.
So Netafim that works with farmers in rural communities finds itself in a situation where people are moving to cities and cities sort of get bigger.
Yeah. In 2050, 70% of the population will live in the city. In such a situation, even companies such as Netafim, that, as you say, working with farmer, agriculture, we understood that we cannot leave the city behind. And we must work to address the challenge of the city and its residents. The climate forest, the first project that we're going to talk, is one of the projects that addressing this challenge. So what is the climate forest? The climate forest is a multi-sectoral afforestation urban project. It's bringing together the private sector, the public sector, together with the local communities in planting trees.
Wow.
Planting trees in the heart of the cities, in the neglected area, the one that you pass by and say, why nothing is doing here?
Yeah.
So this is what we're doing. We're taking this area together with the communities, planting thousands of trees and creating green lungs in the places where we need them.
Wow. So there's this sounds like something that you need to do collaboratively. You couldn't do it alone, definitely not as a corporate. You need the local municipality, you need the community. And there's a very important NGO here that sort of operates the whole system, right?
Yeah. And the Good Initiative NGO, one of our best partners, this is a climate change social organization who run this project. In the very first meeting, when they reached out to me, I very fast understand what is the impact this project can bring to the city and what is the added value that Netafim can bring to its success. And this is where we decide that we want to support this project in a strategic way, in a way that will really make a difference.
Wow. And in terms of the local community, how are they involved?
The local community are the one that, at the end of the day, decide what they want to be in this forest, in their forest.
So they take an active role.
Totally.
Fantastic.
Totally active role. And they are the one that will enjoy it. So we must make sure that they will be part of it.
Right, and feel that they own it, etc. And for Netafim, we said, I mean, you couldn't have done it alone because you're entering in a sort of a territory that's not run by a business, obviously. For the Good Energy Initiative, what was the value of working with Netafim, apart from the equipment, etc., and knowledge?
Yeah. The Good Energy Initiative, I think that the collaboration with Netafim brought to them many values, to be honest.
Yeah, good.
I think that, first of all, when companies like Netafim trust them and willing to investment for long term, it's something that,
it's a statement.
It's a statement.
It definitely has a value.
Totally.
Absolutely.
One other important added value that we brought to the project is our strong collaboration with the municipalities. It was a door opening. When the Good Energy Initiative and Netafim is going out there, invite the municipality to take part in the good for the climate forest project, it is a different.
Yeah,
and they understand that we are going to be there for long-term investment. We accept the municipality to be there for long-term investment. I think it makes it much more stable project.
Yeah, and sustainable.
And sustainable.
A world that we love.
Exactly.
And for Netafim, what would be the value for Netafim?
Yeah. And one more thing that is very important, I think that for us in Israel, it's very clear, but I'm not sure for everyone. I'm sure that's why in Europe, it's not the way that it works. But in Israel, you need to irrigate every tree in its first year.
Yeah.
So the massive in-kind, the massive equipment of irrigation that we donate to this project was essential for them. And of course, we brought many other things that maybe this is the benefit for Netafim, as you're asking.
Yeah.
Because I think we made it something that it's part of our culture, internal culture in Netafim. There was some point that you look around and it seemed that every employee in Netafim in Israel is part of the good forest. Yeah. From our agronomic and planner, we work with the good forest team to choose what are the right trees for every area, because we're talking about ecological and responsible planting. For our marketing team who support them in the website and the message delivery. Of course, our employees and their family who volunteer to go and plant trees all over Israel. Even the HR find a way to implement this amazing project in our internal culture. For every newborn, for Netafim employees, we plant a tree in the name, in the good forest, in the climate forest. And a certificate, of course, soft copy is sent to the thrilled parents. And in a different note, we conduct the same process when a first degree relative die. We also planting a tree in the name. So it's something that it's very inside of our...
Very much... part of a very holistic kind of approach. And what would you say the challenge here that you need to be sort of mindful of?
Two main challenges. First, long-term investment. We all like quick win. Yeah. We all look for quick wins. And once it's long, there could be a bumps on the way and it will take a while. And, it's something that... Once you're aware of that and preparing for that and not expecting to get the success of this project as a gift, but you're really part of the process, I think you are more ready for the bumps, but it's still challenging and you need to remind yourself. Yeah. The second challenge is maintaining. I think that it's much easier to go and plant and celebrate and take a picture and volunteer one day and it's amazing. Yeah. But to maintain the good forest, the energy forest, to maintain the collaboration with the local community, with the municipality, it is challenging.
A lot of investment.
Exactly.
It takes a lot of investment.
But I think this is what makes it impactful.
Otherwise it wouldn't have been long-lasting and you would have kind of a one-off kind of events maybe, and that was that. Okay, so that was a very good example of a collaborative effort, something that I don't think could have been done by one party by itself. We're jumping miles away to India, to a community irrigation sort of project, more than a project, something that is life-changing, right?
Yeah.
So
totally.
what goes on there?
Okay, so we're moving thousands of miles away from the climate forest, geographically and culturally, to the northern region of Karnataka state of India. Over there, no rain means more than just no crops. It may mean that the smallholder farmer will need to sell his land, his only assets, to repay for the loan that he took to buy seeds and fertilizer, and to survive.
Yeah.
This is a pattern that repeated in many developing countries, where smallholder farming are the base for the local community or local economic, and to make it very simple, in the climate crisis that we're all facing, some communities, they are
at a loss in terms of
exactly.
The risk. They don't have any backup. If there's a bad year, they're almost done in some cases.
I don't find even a simple word to say that. But it's not a bad year. Doesn't mean that they will buy less clothes. They don't have the food that they need.
They don't have food for on
and
the
this
table.
pattern is something that we keen to break, to find a solution for that. And there is a solution, okay? Reducing the dependency on rainfall, it's a key factor for a stable economy and for improving the life of millions of farmers in developing countries. That can be achieved in access to water, in a modern irrigation system. But how can it be done when this farmer lack the capability, the financial capability to have these two factors? Momo, let's take a look in this short video. I think that will have some answer.
And we'll get some understanding of what goes on here.
For children growing up in the drought-ridden Karnataka region in India, water scarcity, food insecurity, and poverty may be a reality, but they need not be a destiny. In 2017, Netafim completed the Ramtol Community Irrigation Project, an innovative public-private partnership and the biggest drip irrigation project in the world that demonstrated how creativity, resourcefulness, and working together can make a dramatic change for good. How did we help make this happen? We did it by giving smallholder farms equal access to water all year round through investment in effective water infrastructure and drip irrigation technology. We taught farmers how to increase crop yields exponentially using less water and fertilizer, so they could secure their farms and finances.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಮಳೆ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಒಂದೇ ಪೀಕ್ ತಕ್ಕೊಂತಿದ್ವಿ ಈಗ ನಮಗೆ ಹನಿ ನೀರಾವರಿ ಬಂದಿಂದ 2 ಪೀಕ್ ತಕ್ಕೊಂಡಿವಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿಂತ್ರ ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗೈತಿ ಗಂಡು ಮಕ್ಕಳೇನು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಜರೂರತ್ತು ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳೇ ಇದನ್ನ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಈಜಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಕಷ್ಟವೇನಿಲ್ಲ ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು.
The government thought that why not to move to the drip irrigation, and we are very fortunate that the Netafim came at that point of time with the whole concept, and it was like a kind of a marriage between the state government and the Netafim.
We helped farmers organize for commercialization and continued working with farmers to ensure productivity year after year. By building vital infrastructure, supporting agricultural commercialization, and getting all stakeholders working together for a common goal, we are giving hope and a future to a new generation. Netafim, grow more with less.
Good. Yeah, that was very eye-opening. So what is the sort of, who is the partner there if we're speaking about collaboration, right?
Okay. The community irrigation developed by Netafim is bringing together the private sector and the public sector, the Karnataka government, to joint effort to deliver water irrigation equipment, knowledge, and new practice to these huge communities. the uniqueness of this model is that it's leveraged the size advantage. It's organized together thousands of smallholder to one big community irrigation in a way that they can access and enjoy many things that was far away from them when they work as individual.
Wow. And the collaboration here, so we have the state and we have Netafim, a business. I would imagine that Netafim brings obviously the know-how, the equipment, and the training and everything. Yeah, and the government would supply funds, I would imagine. But there's more to just funds, right? It's deeper than that. They need to change the way that they live in a way.
It must be more than funds. Yeah. It's funds, it's policy, it's a way to work with this local community. As you said at the beginning, it's a life-changing project. Literally, change life. To change someone's life, you need to work with him hand in hand together to find a way that it will fit him and fit the new time where we stay in, where we live in.
The question of trust must be crucial here, and I would imagine that the government gives that sort of backing and solidity that this is something with a great purpose behind it, right?
Exactly, and I think that there was a really clear set of expectations that the firm commit to operate the project and work with the local community till they will be ready.
And how much time does it usually take?
Few years.
Few years. It's not months, it's years. Okay.
Again, we're not talking about quick wins. We're talking about impact,
it's very consistent here.
Exactly. Agriculture. Nothing is grow fast.
Yeah, right.
And one of Netafim's biggest investment in this project was working with the local community. Teach them about irrigation, teach them about commercial, because again, everything was changed. Their income was increased double, okay? So they have gained access to better education, better healthcare, better sanitation. All of this was outcome of this project.
Fantastic.
And we were there with them to work it out.
Yeah.
I think Netafim brought in this project more than know-how, knowledge, equipment, finance, investment. We brought our heart. You remember Netafim? It brought out the kibbutz.
That's how Netafim started, in a small rural community, basically.
Exactly.
Right.
So we trust the power of the community. We understand the power of community when you need it in this, again, this challenging time.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that really was a game changer in this project.
Wow.
And it's something that we took it out of Karnataka to many other countries inside of India, in Africa. It is very important and life-changing project, but as you asked before and say before many times, and I will highlight it once again, it can work only when the government, on the official actor, is fully committed for that.
Right. And you need to manage, again, that collaboration. In terms of a challenge here, what would you say, what would you add to the challenges that we discussed at the project with an NGO and local municipalities? Is there something else that's unique to a business government cooperation?
Always.
Okay. Governments are not easy.
Exactly. Not at all. I think to manage the collaboration, to make it, again, very clear and organized, set the expectation, make sure that we all aware for the risk and for the benefits and willing to pay for everything and to take this chance. And I think that once, the public sector is there to support their people in a way that really change their life, we're going to be there to work with them because this is what we do for our living. Yeah. So we are there.
Nice. And as you've said, I think you need to be very clear about setting the expectations before you start and constantly sort of remind the various parties of where we're going and sort of manage those expectations. That's a key, I think, to success of any collaborative effort.
But it's also important to remember that when we're talking about community, and it is irrigation, irrigation, each community can look a bit different. So you also need to be open-minded to do the right adjustment to the different needs and a different way to operate it. I'm not sure that community irrigation in India is the same as one that will be in Africa.
Yeah, so you also need to be very sensitive here in terms of the community. Our third and last example is actually from France.
Yeah.
So what goes on in France? And here we're speaking about a business-to-business collaborative effort, right? So we have three types of collaborations here.
Exactly. So here we're talking about our B2B collaboration and approach. It may seem odd, but as I say in the beginning, one of our values is part of a success.
Yeah.
So we really believe that working together is the best way, and we're working with other business toward a shared goal where our interests and values meet. And it's something that is very, very important. And
interests and value. I would emphasize that, and we'll come back to that later. Yeah.
For example, Moshe Bernstein, who is the director manager for Netafim in France, is sit as the member manager for the European Irrigation Association, a non-profit organization that represents more than 65 member other organizations in the irrigation and the landscape agriculture industry. As you can guess, many of these companies in the field are competitors.
Absolutely.
But here
it's also important to maintain some place where you can actually remember that you have a shared vision of irrigating and eventually growing crop. And there's a specific story that is fascinating about collecting used drip irrigation equipment, right?
In the same very approach of working together, we are very happy and proud to be an important player in the national France collective scheme. Way to, we like to talk about circular economy. So this is circular economy at its best, but walk the talk, not just walk.
Yeah, sounds very promising. You're building here the tension.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a collective of the flexible irrigation tube from the field.
Okay.
Flexible irrigation tubes are the most sustainable and efficient way to grow crop. Less water, less fertilizer, more yield. But at the end of the day,
you remain with plastic.
Exactly. You remain with polyethylene that you need to replace one or 2 years. And this challenge, we want to address it and not to leave it behind in the field. I think that this collaboration is based on the very, very basic understanding that you need to find a way to create a process that collect and recycle the tubes as part of the overall concept of the product. It's not a side process that maybe you'll do it, maybe you'll not. Yeah. It's part of the product, and you need to be aware of that. This
part of the product life cycle, as we usually say.
Exactly, and again, circular economy.
And is it successful?
Very much. No, it is. We still want to approve, but I can share with you that it's done miracle. 70% of the flexible irrigation tube,
way beyond
is recycled.
At least. Well done.
And it's on the way to be implemented in Poland, in Spain, and in UK. So it's something
and that's a business-to-business collaboration here?
It's a business-to-business, but again, the government and the policy is very involved and is the one that regulates it and makes sure that it will happen. The collaboration was volunteering partnership. We didn't have to work together. We decided to work together. But the government, the French government, are the one that say, okay, stop. You need to take care of it. And we decided to work together for this shared goal, as you said.
Wow, well done. And there's another final example for France. Dealing with potatoes, right? Many examples, but we're covering some. We don't have time.
We don't have
so there's something about potatoes that I remember.
I'm sure that you like French fries. I'm sure I like it. But there is a challenge with, with the climate effort or with the climate crisis and growing potato. And as I said before, when you share interest and when you share value, you can work together. And this is the base for our collaboration with McCann Food. The very strong commitment to regenerative agriculture and our efficient in water using, and the fact that sustainability is part of our core business and our DNA, enable us to work together for this, again, share goal to find a way to grow crop in this matter, potato, in a smarter way, a way that use less water, less fertilizer, but again, keep on the quality of the crop. McCann is running extremely important experimental farm all over Europe, and Netafim, among other company, using this farm for trying to find a way to grow, to learn and to teach the farmer how to grow crop in a better way.
Wow, very impressive. So this is very inspiring, and I think we've heard various examples of collaborative efforts with NGOs, with local municipalities, with governments, with businesses, which I think is also essential. We know that we need to have sort of some shared visions and shared challenges that no company can face by itself, can meet by itself. In terms of final advice on collaboration, you've been around in this field for quite some time, lots of experience. What would you sort of say is the final, most important thing about collaborative effort?
Wow, tough question. I think first cherish the partnership.
Okay.
Don't take
celebrate it. Don't take it for granted. Yeah, we're saying it together.
Yeah, you need to understand that you need to also to manage the partnership. It's not come easy. You need to invest, to have the patience, to trust the partnership. And I think that
and to give it the time that it needs.
Give it the
not
time
just
that it
expect it to work, but also invest in building it, growing it, maintaining it.
Exactly.
Okay, good.
There is so much that we can learn from each other, from, you know, other companies, municipality, local communities, startups, government, and so much that we can learn from each other, and so much that we can lose if we don't do it. And, you know, Momo, the clock is ticking. When you addressing environmental challenges, when you're addressing social challenges, we believe that you must work together. This is the only way to gain the benefit from the knowledge of all of us together, and to give each partner his or her ability to bring his knowledge and strength to the table. Yeah,
and I would say that the second thing is relating to the first. It sounds contradicting, but it's not. Is at the same time really understand and analyze whether a partnership is the right way to solve the issue, right? Would you agree?
Totally.
Okay.
I don't think, or I don't want I don't want people to think that I believe that collaboration, this is the only way to work. Yeah. It's a good way to work. It's benefit for Netafim in most of the projects, but there are projects that we choose that not to collaborate and to work solo. And I think that you need to choose the right project for that, and you need to choose the right partner for that. Yeah. And this is also something that
you really need
crucial for the success. Or joint success.
Absolutely.
Let's say it
so
like
Hagar,
that.
thank you very much. We're both in Tel Aviv, so hopefully next time we'll be able to go to and meet the people in person in France, right?
We hope so.
At the World Forum 2022.
22.
Serious.
It's coming soon.
Okay.
I hope that it was useful and will be valuable for others to create a sustainable collaboration.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.